Ezekiel Elliott has been suspended for 6 games due to NFL personal conduct policy, and fake Pigskin's own Ben Rolfe is here to talk to us about Zeke. Ben, you're heading into a draft this weekend, next week, something like that. We obviously don't know if Zeke's going to get his suspension reduced, but let's assume it's going to remain at the 6 games. If you're heading into a draft, where are you comfortable taking him?
For me, Carlo, I think I'm probably the only person in the world that still feels this way at this point. But for me, he's still right around that end of that first round. I mean, I look at the other options, and yeah, he slips below Devonta Freeman for me. He slips below Sean McCoy. But then you go down to the next tier, which is your DeMarco Murray's, your Jordan Howard's, Melvin Gordon, Todd Gurley, Lamar Miller, and Jay Ajayi for me. And all of them have their little question marks. I could see Murray losing time and carries to Derrick Henry. Jordan Howard could have just been a flash in the pan. We all thought Todd Gurley was a sure thing last year at this time. Melvin Gordon, he's very touchdown dependent. He's probably the safest out of those guys. Todd Gurley, we saw the issues last year, unless Jared Goff is a lot better. And Lamar Miller, who knows? Those rookies look good there. JJ, if I've got Jay Cutler throwing the ball, I'm stacking the box against JJ because I'm going to take my chances that Jay Cutler and his falling off arm can do damage against me. So for that reason, I'm still taking Zeke right around the end of that first round. I'm going to go by the fact that either his suspension gets reduced or that I can duck and weave, work my way around the waiver wire, and I can get myself to week 8 with a 4-4, 3-5 record. Zeke comes back, and my aim then would be to go unbeaten with Zeke and just crush it from there on in. I think wide receivers deep enough that I can take three or four running backs very early, and I think I can do it. I think fantasy owners can do it. The waiver wire is there. You've got it just for the wide receivers as much as anything. You handcuff a couple of other backfields, and come week 8, you're getting the best fantasy running back, bar Le'Veon Bell and David Johnson, back in your backfield, and you've got every chance to run the table, finish the season, head into the playoffs, and like I say, just run the table and win your championships. I don't think you should be scared to take Zeke in the bottom of the first, maybe top of the second, if you're fairly sure that the guys just behind you in the draft aren't going to take the same gamble. There's no reason why, if you're in that sort of 10-11 spot in a 12-team draft, you can't let him slip into the second. But the talent you're talking about taking over him is the same as what you're really going to be getting at the other side. So I'd be taking the gamble back end of that first round, and I don't even know if I'd be definitely looking to handcuff him with Darren McFadden or Alfred Morris or any of that. I think I'd go the other way. I'd zig where everyone else is zagging. I really would.
I think first to Ben's point about not getting him till week 8, Cowboys have a week 7 bye. So yeah, if it's 6 games plus that bye week, it will be week 8 before Zeke's back. It's definitely a gamble. It's definitely, you have to have confidence as a fantasy owner. You mentioned that you're probably not taking McFadden. I think I'm with you there. Even if I draft Zeke, first or second, I'm probably more comfortable in the second, especially if I can get him kind of in the latter part of the second, and I've drafted, Le'Veon Bell or David Johnson, I'll feel great about my team, and then just stack receivers from there. I guess Terrence West, Jacquizz Rodgers. Is there any other running backs that stand out to you, Ben, as guys you're kind of targeting? Are you gonna make sure, like, say you grab Zeke with your first round pick, are you grabbing a stud running back with your second just to ensure that, or are you you're comfortable going best player available and putting your running back core together as the draft plows along?
Yeah, well, I love the value on Terrence West, and I would try and package Terrence West and Danny Woodhead. I really think that's a great way to go. Just looking down the ADP, I'm quite happy to take like a little selection out of LeGarrette Blount, Mark Ingram, CJ Anderson, that kind of level. I feel like Frank Gore, especially, sort of Frank Gore and LeGarrette Blount, for me, feel quite safe. And if I
Yeah.
can sort of package LeGarrette Blount with Darren Sproles, at least then I've kind of got a little bit of protection. And PPR, I may even just go for those kind of pass catching, high upside kind of guys in those middle rounds just to pack it out. I don't think I'd be sort of reaching in the second round to then grab your Howards and all of those guys. Might try and grab like a Marshawn Lynch if I can get him at the back end of the third. It's unlikely he's going early third in a 10-team league, late
No.
second. But gamble on Christian McCaffrey in a PPR. Isaiah Crowell, Carlos Hyde, those kind of guys really interest me, and I think I can do enough in season. I'm a guy that likes to take the waiver wire early. It's often cost me championships in the past where I've dropped a guy who's come back hot towards the end of the season. But I like to play the waiver wire early. I'm going to keep working on it and see what I can do. So I don't think you should be scared to take Zeke in the first or the top of the second if that's where you fall, because you're probably not getting him at the end of the third, early fourth. I think someone's willing to take the gamble. If you're in those 10, 11 slots, you've got to take him there, or chances are someone else is going to take that gamble, and you're going to be watching them win your championship.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Howard, Jay Ajayi were both waiver wire guys last year. Devontae Freeman, the year he broke out, was in the waiver wire. So, I think your point is, a good one. If you're a little more, you're a little more willing to take on that risk. You're a little more comfortable with your waiver wire skills. I don't think it's a horrible way to go. But that is Ben Rolfe. We are the Angle of Pursuit. Make sure you are checking us out on iTunes. We have our division previews going right now. We will be here all season to help you win a fantasy championship.